Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing another frame piece. I'm starting with a oval picture frame that I spray painted in white. I originally had a different idea for this frame a while ago and then never did it. So here we are. Um, so that's covered in white spray paint. It has a semi-gloss on it, which, I mean, if you know me, you know I like matte finishes, but it is what it is. I made it work. So I'm going to use some Artist Loft acrylic paint in light magenta and some Dina Wakley Media acrylic paint in magenta, and I'm going to mix them with a Liquitex slow dry blending medium. Kind of same effect as I did with the last one with the black, except for this time I'm doing it in pink. So I'm going to cover the entire piece and dry it with the heat tool just a little bit, because this Artist Loft paint was like super thick and super chunky, and it wasn't giving me the normal smooth consistency that I like, that I usually do this technique with. So I had to go back and add some more, wipe some off, add some more, wipe some off. It really gave me a struggle, but I made it work in the end. And this piece, I'm actually not using any black. And I struggled for a minute because there was not a single ounce of black in my color palette at all. I don't know, and pink is not my normal go-to either. But I figured for this one I wanted to step outside of the box a little bit. So I'm just covering the frame and wiping it back so that the darker pink stays in the recessed surfaces of the frame. And then, like I said, I had to go in, add some more, go back, wipe some off, add some more, wipe some off. It was quite a process for this. So there's that. And like I said, pink is not my normal, but I made this mold, which is killer, from a mold from Simply Silicone products and some amazing casting resin. And I mixed in with the resin some Ken Oliver Color Burst, I believe in Merlot. And it gave it like this, because the resin itself cures white, but it gave it like this pinkish purplish tint, and then some speckles in there, which I thought was pretty cool. So I wanted this to be the center of the piece, and because the wings went over the frame, it stuck up a little higher, so I had to back it up a little bit with a couple layers of cardboard. No big deal. Now I'm going to go in with Super Moss in, I'm not even sure what this color is. I mean, I think they call it fuchsia. And I'm attaching that with Liquitex matte super heavy gel, which really wasn't necessary for the moss itself, but I already had it out from attaching the crow skull and the wings, so I figured I'm just gonna keep it going. So I'm just kind of smushing it into place with my palette knife, and I have I have my tweezers out, I have a big brush, I have a palette knife for smushing in, I have a palette knife out for getting out more matte medium. Excuse me. I had lots of tools out for this. So I filled in the whole background, and I was happy with it as it was, but it needed more. And who would have thought that Nelly would be super excited about using flowers? Here I am using flowers. And at first I had some blue flowers on because I thought maybe it needed a different pop of color, so it wasn't so, is it monochromatic? So it wasn't all the same color palette. But the blue and the teal just, they look like the flowers just were like, I don't know, put there, and there's no real rhyme or reason. They just didn't look like they fit. So then I thought I was going to add black flowers, but I was really digging the fact that I had no black in this piece whatsoever. And so then I ended up going with some flowers that I had in my studio. Some were sent to me in Happy Mail, some they're all different kinds. Recollections, Prima, Ashland, just a whole bunch of hodgepodge, not hodgepodge, but I grabbed some flowers out of my stash. And I'm using Fabri-Tac to attach them to the canvas, to the piece, to the frame. You know what it is. To this thing. So I did a cluster on the bottom right and then a cluster on the top left, just to give it a little more balance. And then you have your focal of 3. It's a theory of 3s that if there's 3 things in a piece, it will draw your attention to the main focal image, which is the skull and the wings itself. So I did bring out some gesso. This is some Liquitex heavy white gesso, and I'm just using a fan brush, and I'm dipping it in my gesso, wiping it off on a paper towel, and then lightly, super lightly dry brushing over the flowers. And then I'm gonna go in with my favorite Finnabair Art Alchemy waxes. At first I'm gonna start with Electric Violet and Amethyst Magic. And then I wasn't digging the purple like I thought I would, because I thought the frame itself was just too pink. Maybe because pink's not my color. I thought it needed some purple. So I wasn't digging the purple at first. As much as, that's my favorite color on this piece, it just wasn't working for me. So then I try and wipe it back as much as I can. And then I go in with the Amethyst Magic. First it was the Electric Violet along the raised edges on the outside edge of the frame, and then I went in with the Amethyst Magic in the middle of the frame. And then that was looking a little dull to me, so then I went in with some Indian Pink to try and brighten it up a little bit without actually making it like neon pink in your face. So then I'm going, because I did all that work, so let's cover it up with gesso. But I'm just going to go around the edges lightly with that fan brush and some gesso, just to kind of tone down those waxes a little bit. And guys, like, I super love these waxes so much. When I started covering them, I was thinking, what are you doing? Like, you never cover your waxes. But I think that the gesso toning them back a little bit really just added what it needed. And then I super lightly went over the moss with whatever gesso was left on my fan brush, just to give a little different textures to that purple moss in the background. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoy the still shots, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.